Alright guys, St. Louis Reaper here. Got another backyard that is wildly overgrown. Probably been neglected for at least a couple years. Maybe, just maybe, I might have to actually work my way into the backyard for this one. And it is blocked. So let me go ahead and show you what is going on. I have no doubt that there is probably at least one snake back here, because the other day when I came to check it out, there was a garter snake, which thankfully that's a friend, not a foe. But I'm gonna have to work on clearing my path back here, even just to get work started. Here's the forest. The snake I saw was coming out of all this, which this is a perfect environment for all sorts of bugs and snakes and critters. Alright, well, I cut a bit of this foliage down. I'm going to have to do more later. But for right now, what I'm going to do is cut myself a bit of a path. There's a patio back here. The amount of bug life that is in this grass is absolutely insane. I was going to get some water and get a new battery for the weed whacker that just ran out, and a spider crawled up my shoulder and onto my neck. Alright, the scything is now done. Everything is in a nice windrow for me, so that way all I gotta do is just rake it all up and get it put in leaf bags so I can set that out by the curb for the city to pick up, waste management to pick up. But I always get this question of why not use a mower? And my answer for that is pretty simple. This scythe cost me $300, and a mower of any caliber that's going to cut through all of this is several thousands, if not 5 to 10,000. And I just can't afford that at the moment. I don't know what my future is going to be like. I'll probably just keep trying to use the scythe as long as possible. But I enjoy the scything. People say, hey, you're working harder but not smarter. And I say, no, I think I am working smarter, because all I have to do is maintain this blade and maintain my body, and I'll just keep on mowing. I don't have to worry about whether I can fit into any sort of spaces. If I can't make it through a fence, gate, or something like that into a backyard, it's not a problem with the scythe, because as long as my body can fit, so can my scythe. Big mowers, commercial mowers that are, like your X-Marks and your Bad Boys, they may not fit through gate fences like this. But anywhere I can fit, my scythe can fit. And also, if I go into a backyard, maybe after it's been raining a bunch and there's super soft soil, I can still mow with a scythe. I don't have to worry about sinking my heavy mower into the soil. If I'm on a steep grade, I can still mow with the scythe. I don't have to worry about potentially tipping over. Now granted, there's downsides with this too, because using a scythe is going to be slower, it takes manual effort, you got to have a pretty decent amount of skill, unlike a regular mower where the skill cap is basically, do you know how the machine works and can you keep it safely in the bounds of using it? And don't run over anything or make yourself tip, because that obviously could be pretty dangerous. But the skill cap is a lot higher for the scything. It doesn't make it better, it just makes it different. So there's a lot of pros and cons to using a scythe. But smarter or harder is not necessarily a conversation that I would have about it, because this is just what I like. I just like to scythe. I think it's awesome. This tool in its modern form is 1,000 years old. The oldest ones that I think we know in history are somewhere upwards of 3,000 years old. I mean, that's pretty dang cool. Most of the time it was used to harvest crops, you know, big tall grass for hay or wheat and things of that nature. But it works the same for grass. It's all just different varieties of grass. So anyways, I just wanted to share that, just because I think it's something that people misunderstand greatly about scything, which is that, oh, you're just doing it for the gimmick. No, not really. It is part of a gimmick, because I can call myself the Reaper, and it's different from any other YouTube channel that cleans up properties that use the commercial mowers. But it's also enjoyable. I can also get anywhere. I can also put different blades on this and have a different experience with it. So it's a very unique kind of tool. I like it. It's interesting to me. I looked forward to coming to this property today to scythe and mow. And the only downside is just being readily available for the bugs. That's about it. That's really the only downside. And sometimes, you know, my technique could really be better, and this is a me problem, not a scythe problem. Sometimes I get caught a bunch on like mounds of dirt that I run into, or I don't cut it as low to the ground as I'd like to see from, you know, or I see from mentors and other people across the world that use a scythe. So I have a lot more skill to gain. I'm still a novice. I've only been scything for probably less than 100 hours, but more than 50 at this point. So I've got a lot to learn, a lot of skill to gain with this thing, and I look forward to doing that. Anyways, it's time for me to clean up. I need to grab all of this grass off of here so that way I can see what's left and clean it up with the lawnmower. Here's what we look like before we pick up the grass. Okay, how many bags of grass do you think that was? There's 12. Here's the forest. Alright, if you guys appreciate these free transformations, if you know of any properties in the greater St. Louis area, please comment down below, get in touch with me. If you like this kind of stuff, please support my work. It's completely free to everybody I help. So like, subscribe, comment, feel free to share it with somebody you know who likes these property transformations. Until next time, Reaper out. Take care, all.